Today I wanted to go through what I'm doing for what on our forum we're calling the 30-30 challenge. That is to learn 30 new vocabulary words every day for 30 days. And then on the 31st day of the month, take a test to see how many of the 900 words you've actually retained. So, I've done a few videos on learning a ton of vocabulary. This is the way I'm doing it. It's not prescriptive. You don't have to do it. I'm just trying to give you tips about the way that I'm doing it. Now, I've been doing this for about a week now, and I was doing it before the challenge started as a trial, but I'm doing it full time now for a week at least. And I just wanted to show you my morning routine about what it is I'm doing. So the first thing I have to do is at the end of the day, after I've learned them, I put them into Anki, which you may or may not be familiar with, but Anki is a spaced repetition system. Basically, I've got 37 to review, and 16 of them I still hadn't got quite right. More than half. Some days are more difficult than others. Some days are relatively straightforward. Some days are a nightmare. But this is basically what I start with. I haven't started yet, but I will review these remaining words and the ones I have to review before I start learning the new words. Now, the new words, I'm doing Korean, so I'm taking it from a topic vocabulary list that I got. And what I'm going to do here, I'll show you. I've pick out the words that I'm going to do for today. Which is here. And then I'll put myself a little marker so I know where I'm at. And then I'll go up here and just temporarily I'm going to stick these here. Because what I want to do now is I want to generate an OpenTTS speech to text. So what I've done in this spreadsheet is I've taken the commands, which I'm going to use, and you always have to use speak and unspeak. So these are the SSML commands. I did a video on OpenTTS. I'll link to that. And then on the spreadsheet, what I've done is I've just put the commands. So you can see these. Yeah, here we go. So these are the commands that say, okay, speak in Korean, and then in the words, and then it ends the speak tag, and then I give myself a little break, just over half a second. Then I tell it that I want it to speak in English, and then I give it the English word, and then I end it, and I end the voices, and then I give it another little break before it moves on to the next word. So that's basically how I'm doing that. So if I now copy this and I paste it between the two tags, notice I've already set this up for Korean, and then I press this, it will generate a WAV file for me that I can put onto my smartphone, or MP3 player, smartphone actually, and just listen to it all day on repeat, so that I'm hearing this.
Frotty. Conste. Prohibition. 그래. In a hurry. 기간. Period.
So I've got my file. I'll save that just by clicking here and then save the audio. The other thing I need to do is I need to take this and I need to get them into Anki, which is where it's going to wind up eventually. So to do this, I just paste them into a document, a text file, and then I use a text editor to change this into a file I'm going to use for Anki. Again, I've done a video on this, and I will show you, I'll put a link to show you how to do it. But basically, I'm just creating closed deletion cards. Now, closed deletion cards are where you have to actually type in the word. I'll show you what I mean when I switch back to Anki. So here, basically, I've set up a closed deletion, and I've done this, and then I'm just going to save this now as a, let's say this is day 5. Oh. So now that I've got that, I can import this into Anki. So here, I'll just do File, Import, and day 5. So it's already set up. Obviously, I do this a lot. And I just import this. It's added 30 notes, and I've got 30 things to study. So if I click Study Now, just to show you, it prompts me with the English. It's got this blanked out, and then it's expecting me to type in the word. Can't remember. Anyway, I got it wrong. But it shows you the bit you got wrong and the bit the way that it should have been. So here I've got it, the word, and then the way it should have been. So basically what I'll do is I'll go through this and I will do all of the others. Normally I wouldn't have imported the new cards first, so in fact I'll probably go back and delete those and re-import it later. But you get the idea that all I'm doing here is I'm getting electronically the whole thing set up for my learning. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do here is go back here and copy this, and I need to create a document, basically, because the first thing I do in the morning is after I do the setup, but the other thing I do is I actually create a piece of paper that I can sit down and go through and read and use, because the first part of this is always me just writing them all out and getting them all sorted out. So and so then I get it all set out and I just print it, and then I'm going to take that piece of paper and I will use that piece of paper to practice the words. I'll write them all out on a notebook, on a notepad, again and again and again, till it sinks into my brain, or most of them anyway. And then later I'll start to review them in Anki. But the idea of reviewing them in Anki is that you do it at the end of the day, when in fact most of the stuff you should already know. Yesterday was a particularly bad day for the words that I used, and so I actually forgot a significant amount of them. It was very difficult to come up with anything sort of memorable about the words in order to fix them in my mind. But it, you know, some days are better, easier than others. It just depends on the words that you're picking out and that you're using on that particular day. So that is the method that I'm using to try and get myself through this 30-day challenge. And hopefully you'll find this, useful. And, my method. You don't have to use my method, but some of these things may help you as you're doing it. The vocabulary videos have had a lot of interest, so thank you for that. If you like this sort of stuff and you've lasted this long, please press the like button, and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of thing. And leave me a note in the comments about any questions you may have about what I'm doing, or suggestions for improving this method or making it a bit easier to do. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Have a good day.